Hey y'all. Okay, so I think I'm done with that. All right, back for another video. Again, getting ready for work because best time to do these things, I guess. So let's see. Lots of stuff going on. I will put a link in the description box, but I'm trying to get some money together so I can register the kiddos for school. So I'm taking orders for custom knit and crochet items. So be sure to check that out. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, got a list because I gotta look at everything. I'd forget otherwise, and I love to make lists. So there's tons of them. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna talk about a couple of things today. The first one being something I thought about it the other night. I don't know. I mean, I guess I do know why, because I'm the queen of, you really have to change your, your internal dialogue and the words that you're putting out. That's a very powerful thing, your internal conversation and what you speak. Maybe even an effort to be humble, it can really kind of affect you. And I was thinking about a piece of advice I got years ago, and at the time I was just, okay, whatever. But I went on this kind of non-typical exchange trip in high school. This was probably like 14 or 15. Well, and the way it worked was, it was in England, and we would go, it was through ROTC, and we'd do it in the summer. And we would go one year, and they would host us, and then they would come the next year, and we would host them. So that's how that worked. And so they came the summer after my freshman year, so summer 95, summer 96, we went over. And then that school term, and let me tell you guys, I didn't want to leave. I planned so hard to go back. I was going to go back. I was just going to move there. I was just going to go. And of course, this is how, I was in high school. And so I was just like, I'll just get the passport. I have my passport. It's current. I'll just go back. And I just won't leave when it's time to leave. So, and I actually never went back. So for a lot of reasons, but never went back. But I loved it. Beautiful. So, anyhow, the school term after I went to England, came back, was going to school, was really involved still in lots of sports and ROTC and stuff like that. And there was a guy there who was, with the British kids. And, I have such a poor memory. I don't remember, it's funny, I remember his name, but I don't remember, what he did there. But his name was Captain McDade, and I thought he was great. Now, whether he really was super awesome or if it was just because I didn't have to see him for very long and it was in a totally different capacity than usual, who knows. But for the time I saw him, I thought he was a pretty jam-up guy. He was a pretty cool cat. Anyway, he was big on, he was definitely harsh. I don't want to say harsh, but he was, he was British, so he wasn't, it was just different than anything, I'd never met anyone at that point that wasn't, you know, from around where I was living at the time. But I thought he was great. So we were he'd come over for whatever reason, I don't know. He was here. And we were going to a meet. And I was racing in it. I was running. I was doing an obstacle course and something else, I don't know. Like I say, you know, 96 was a few years ago, so I don't remember the exact details. And I would, you know, and even to this day, I didn't realize how much I say, you know, I'll try, or, you know, I will, or, you know. But I thought, you know, especially at that point in time, that was a really positive thing to say, you know, and especially here, like, you know, when kids are told, you know, just try, just give it, you know, just try, give it a try, give it your best shot. And we were talking about, like, what events we were doing that day. And, you know, I found out what my events were and what my times were, and I was kind of goofing off, and I was like, you know, he asked me what, you know, if I was going to place. And I was kind of like, well, you know, I'll try, but have you seen the other schools? And he's like, well, see, you've already lost. You haven't placed. You aren't going to place. And I was in shock. I was like, well, that's a pretty crappy thing to say. I'm going to try. I'm going to try really hard. And he was like, no, don't say you'll try. Don't say you will. Just do it. You know, don't try. Just, you know, do it. And I was like, piss off. And, you know, I didn't place. I really didn't do very well at that event at all. That was probably one of the worst meets I had. Like, my head just wasn't there at all. Like, I was not I was not there. I was not present. And I did not give it 100%. I didn't give it like 50%. Yeah, it was like, that's just where my headspace was for that event. It was not a good meet. But I've really been, you know, that it just kind of clicked the other night after I did the last video that I put up. Just popped into my head, that piece of advice, and even now, like, I thought about it, and I was like, I'm talking that I say that a lot, and that internal dialogue can really be kind of, you know, self-sabotaging and self-fulfilling, where, well, you tried, so, and that's what, you know, I don't want to try anymore, I just want to do it. Like, it really took a huge shift in my mindset, though, to get to the point where I was like, I get it now, I get it, you know, you don't try to do things, you just do them, you know, or I will. Well, you know, when will you do it? Because that's kind of putting it in the future, and the future doesn't exist. So, you know, you really just have here and now to get stuff done. And do I have the right eyeliner? There, okay. Mama's gotta look good. So, I am. And that's just really, you know, at the time I was mad. I thought that was a really, like, harsh thing to tell me not to try, but, and I wish I would have gotten sooner the intent behind it. But especially, you know, now, like, thinking about it, I'm like, okay, it's time to just get shit done. It's time to just do it, you know, and I'm like, well, better late than never. You know, I am glad that I get it now. And so it was really like, you know, and I think about how to convey that to like my kids without coming across like a total hard ass. Because, you know, I don't want them to, you know, failure can be an amazing teacher. So I want them, I don't want them to say I'll try as a way to get out of it. I want them to put everything into whatever they're doing. And if you fail, then great, you'll learn something from that, but you shouldn't be so scared of it that you kind of stick to the back and say, well, I'm here. No, but are you really? Like, are you giving it your all? Are you going to look back and be, you know, fulfilled and glad you had this experience, or are you going to look back on it with regret? So I definitely have to find a way to even embrace that myself, because I'm definitely, like, I had a, you know, and it's still hard, you know, and I'm 36, but I had a meeting with, like, the director of the United Way to get something I'm working on off the ground. And I was supposed to send her flyers, like, and I haven't, because it's just, you know, the what ifs. And so it gets really hard to get out of your own head with that little what if monster that just, well, what if it doesn't work? Well, you know what? If it doesn't work, this just wasn't the time and the place, but it can work and it will work. And it is working, so it's just because it's not working here doesn't mean it's not working. I just have to get past that. And, you know, figuring out, you know, how to just be scared and worried and just still do it anyway, you know. So, it's a lot of stuff. Okay, you know, I'm definitely in a very, you know, I want to process and work through a lot of stuff lately, so that I can really be present and committed and focused to everything that's falling into place right now. It is scary, but it's like the good scary. You know, so it's just working on that. It's just kind of working on accepting that the universe is bringing me. It's, you know, it's one of those where you have to constantly practice gratitude and acceptance and just chill the hell out. Like, that was another thing that came to me the other day. Just driving, I started having like almost like flashbacks of like periods in my life. And initially all I could think about was like anger. I felt angry. And then I started looking, I was like, okay, but what caused this? And ultimately I realized like it was a lack of, so the big lesson was patience. I was angry at, you know, this event, but what caused it was a lack of patience in another situation. And so that one little thing just rippled, you know, and caused a huge old mess, because I couldn't just be patient and for 5 minutes, watch a situation play out, hold my tongue, and, you know, try to work through things internally when needed, instead of, you know, bringing a whole bunch of drama with it. So, just, you know, and for me too, I always joke that, you know, I need to, you know, whenever I want to talk, I need to like wait for like 5 minutes. I need to really hold back and, there we go. Calm down before I start talking, because I get so emotional about everything. And so really it would be best if I would just like sit the hell down and shut the hell up before, you know, 5 minutes, then talk. So I definitely, I've got to, you know, so it really, you know, I'm not going to lie, it's rough to sit there and think about what you have to work through and the things you've done to contribute to where you're at. That's been really, you know, like I say, it's good, but man, it is. I just wish you know, it's if wishes and butts were candy and nuts. You know, part of me, I sit there and I go, I wish I'd done this process years ago, but then again, obviously I wasn't in the place to do it, where I really could appreciate everything. So I'm glad I have it now. You know, now there's focus, and now there's, you know, what I'm working toward, what I'm putting into place. And so it's still a work in progress, but now I know what I'm doing. Now I know what the end picture is going to look like. Now I have, you know, the goals and the motivation. So it's, you know, it's a totally different mindset now. So I definitely am glad that I'm finally to the point where I can do all that. But I think that's it for now. You know, because I got some more stuff to say, but I probably need to do it on a different video. I don't really think it fits in with this video. So, all right, that's it for this one, guys. Tell me in, you know, comment below what is some good advice? What's the best advice you've ever gotten, especially, you know, when you're really like reinventing your life and starting over? Let me know in the comment box, and then of course thumbs up and subscribe. Check out Facebook and Instagram, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.